Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg announcing a major policy shift today. Facebook is cracking down on hate speech. Zuckerberg says the social network will bar any ads with hateful content, such as those expressing contempt for immigrants or refugees. It will also label posts from politicians that break its rules, including those from President Trump. Facebook had previously refused to take action against Trump posts that suggested mail-in ballots will lead to voter fraud. But Zuckerberg said people deserve to hear unfiltered statements from politicians. He spoke out today about the changes at a virtual town hall.
There's no newsworthy exemption to content that incites violence or suppresses voting. Even if a politician or government official says it, if we determine the content may lead to violence or deprive people of their right to vote, we're going to take that content down, no matter who says it.
Well, the announcement comes as a growing list of companies join an advertiser boycott of Facebook. Some of these major brands include Ben & Jerry's, Verizon, North Face, consumer goods giant Unilever. I spoke with CNET editor-at-large Ian Sherr today about why some companies say Facebook's response is a long time coming, but doesn't really go far enough. You said that you're a little surprised that Facebook hasn't taken action before. Why is that? Why do you think they've been waiting and putting this off?
It's hard to tell. Facebook, when you talk to them, sounds like they legitimately want to deal with this problem. And they realize the problem's there, but they just can't quite get it, which is hard to believe when you're talking to one of the richest companies in the world. And, you know, it has enough profits to literally raise an entire army. It's hard to watch. So, but I think in this case, Facebook is being very reactionary. Their hand is being forced. It's worth noting that Zuckerberg had gotten a lot of criticism from Facebook employees and also from the media over his handling of some of President Trump's tweets during the riots that were going on, or all of the protests and everything else. So I think there's a lot going on here that's causing this to happen.
The big question is who becomes the arbiter of what is hate speech? Because we've heard the argument before, this is just political speech. This is how I believe. This is my First Amendment right. Who says that something posted on Facebook is hate speech? Who determines that?
It's really tough. And it's worth noting that, you know, when it comes to the government, hate speech is something that is allowed, right? I mean, there's a Supreme Court case about Nazis being able to march in the middle of a Jewish neighborhood in Illinois. But when it comes to private companies, they are not covered by the First Amendment. They can do whatever they want. And what it comes down to is that Facebook at the moment is starting to say, okay, we're going to set certain rules around the biggest extreme stuff, right? Calling for the death of a bunch of people, denigrating immigrants as beneath us. Very obvious stuff that almost all of us can agree on.